This is Marketing of Today. I'm Cesar. Let's go. Hey, Salim. Welcome to our podcast, Marketing of Today. How you doing today, man?
I'm great. Thank you for having me today, Cesar.
You know, I met you on Waterside event that we did a networking event. And from there, man, you are very interesting. I love what you do. I know that where you work is a title company. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
So wait, I don't think we first met there, though.
Really?
No, we met over here. As a matter of fact, I think JT Morel.
JT was here one day,
yes, was
and then
working with you, and he said he was in Passaic, and I said where, and he said Lexington, and I said I know exactly where you are, and I showed
you came up, and then we
later.
were talking that day. I remember we were just talking about random stuff and like
business, and
and the energy
connections. Yeah,
you were talking to me about
so
title.
you forgot that.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of disappointed.
I know,
I was completely not memorable. I guess
I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this off the podcast. So it doesn't look bad on me. Just kidding. But yeah, I remember that day we were talking about title, and you taught me a lot of good stuff. So like when it came around to me starting my podcast, I said I have the perfect person that I want to be on. I have had a lot of real estate people on the podcast, and I want you to tell my audience like what is a title company.
Well, I feel really bad for your audience, because title is probably the most boring aspect of the entire real estate transaction.
But it's the most important one, actually.
I'd like to say it's the most important, and everyone will say their aspect of it is the most important.
Mm-hmm.
However, yes, title is extremely important. You can't close a transaction, obviously, without something what we call in the industry clear title.
Exactly.
So without that, we can't close a transaction. And so, yeah, I would say it's extremely important.
The question is that I have for you. All real estate transactions need to go through title?
Yes. So title is required is actually a lender requirement for anyone financing a property or taking out a mortgage, rather.
Okay.
So it's a lender requirement for them to protect their investment in you as a homeowner, right?
Exactly.
So they want to make sure that obviously they're free and clear of any liens and encumbrances, and we'll get into that later on, I guess, when we kind of discuss exactly what title is. But yes, it's a necessary component of real estate transactions. There's obviously it's
because it's your security and your money, regardless if you're financing it yourself. Because I know that's where you want to get at.
The cash transactions.
Cash transactions, sometimes to save that money, they don't do it. But at the end of the day, they're securing their money.
Of course. And this office, Dom, you deal a lot with Dom, and people that we personally know, that have purchased cash transactions at the sheriff's auction that did not get a owner's title policy on their property.
Yeah,
we personally know multiple individuals that ended up having to pay out significant amounts of money because there were undiscovered liens and on the property.
Okay, so before we get into that, because this is actually, I know where we're going with this, and I already know the next question I was going to ask you there, but I want to know, how do you get started working as a title? What's your title?
Got it. So I'm actually a managing partner of
a
company called New World Title.
Yes.
New World Title is new to New Jersey. We're about 14 to 15 months in.
Where did it came from?
And it's actually from Florida, the state of Florida.
Nice.
And it is one of the largest, if not the largest, title producing agency in the state of Florida. We have about, as last count that I saw, and it might have increased since then, 22 offices across Central and South Florida.
Oh, wow.
And so it's a very large company with a large footprint across the state, and newly entered into New Jersey.
Yes.
And
how many offices do you guys have here
so
far?
In 14 months, our first office, our overall New Jersey headquarters is in Rutherford, New Jersey, Bergen County. Okay. And we love the fact that we're in Bergen County right there, and very close to Passaic County.
Yes.
And the convenience, obviously, of just getting to so many different places from the Route 17, Route 3 corridor.
Yeah, you have all the highways right there.
We feel like we're right in the mix of a lot of things. And our second office that we opened up was in Union County in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Nice. So now you have the South.
Yeah, so we're in Elmora, right on Elmora in the heart of Elizabeth, and we love being there. And we feel that Union County has embraced us, and meaning the real estate community has embraced us, and we are part and parcel of the real estate community in Union County. Of course, in Passaic, Bergen, and other counties as well, but as being newly entered into Union, we feel like now we have a home there. and we also opened up an office in Red Bank, New Jersey.
Okay.
And so we have our presence in Red Bank, and I'm gonna.
Red Bank is like south, right?
Red Bank is.
So you are in north, center, and south of
Yes,
New Jersey.
yes, and
Oh,
you know,
wow.
we're not ashamed of disclosing some of our, I guess, inside sort of secrets and stuff like that. But we're actively now going to open up in Cherry Hill, so we're looking in the Cherry Hill, Camden area to open up another office.
So now you're getting close to PA there.
And we also a few months back got licensed in New York, and we are
Nice.
actively seeking out, where we actually are very close to being licensed in Pennsylvania. And
Wow.
so
you're going to be able to have all those 3 states right there.
exactly. So we're trying to create this regional presence and, just really grow the brand and the company in this area.
Yeah,
in the
because
Northeast.
everybody needs title.
Yes.
Everybody, meaning especially there are cash buyers, right, that will skip it. And we know that it's not, we don't endorse it. We don't agree to it. You shouldn't do it. But there are more transactions that are bank and that are financed, that are hard money loans and all those type of loans that people actually need to get a title. So you guys can expand to different areas, especially when they're growing areas, right?
Of course. I mean, wherever real estate is happening, there's a need for a title company. Just like wherever there's real estate happening, there's a need for an attorney. Unless you're down south, it's they don't use attorneys down south.
Yeah.
Realtors kind of manage the transactions along with the title company.
Little different.
But especially in central North Jersey, you have. Even though I don't agree with Central, I'm saying it just to be diplomatic on this podcast. But
How do you divide it then? Because I need to ask you that.
all right, so you have Route 78. Anything south of Route 78 is South Jersey, or
Anything north is North Jersey.
North Jersey, and then anything past Parsippany is pretty much Pennsylvania. Yeah.
I kind of agree to that one because I get confused all the time when I drive that
So
way.
if I'm in Dover, I'm definitely in Pennsylvania.
You're in the Poconos by in your
Exactly.
mind. But yeah, so your office, you were saying that it's not in South, that it's not in Central, it's South.
It's definitely South Jersey. Yeah. Yeah. So we got 2 South Jersey offices in Elizabeth. And my Union County Elizabeth friends, they're gonna hear this. They're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna be upset
Because people do call it Central, right?
no, I think Union County, they think they're in North Jersey or something. But
Because I know, because everybody calls it North part of Jersey. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? So I used to live in New York, and then I traveled every day for a year to this office. And then from here, I used to take Ubers everywhere to film people, and then I come back here. I spend most of my time with Dom. But when I got to learn Jersey like a year ago because I started driving.
Wait, where are you from?
I'm originally Dominican.
No, but
In New York, I was in the Bronx.
on the Bronx. Okay, got it.
So I lived, when I got here 2018, I lived in Brooklyn for about a year. Then I moved to Queens for a year. Then I got married, and the only place I could find an affordable apartment was in the Bronx. And that's where we moved. And then for some reason, something brought me to Jersey, and then we lived here. We live here now. Nice. So I have my office and my apartment. I live here in Jersey.
But are you in Passaic?
No. I am going to be in Garfield soon.
Okay. That's Bergen County. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to be in Passaic. But my office is, so I'm representing Passaic.
Nice.
We represent Passaic. I know you've been here how long? I know you were from Passaic, right?
My whole life.
Your whole life.
Well, I was born in Queens, Flushing, Queens.
Interesting.
My parents moved out here when I was 4.
And then we're not gonna disclose your age here, but you've been here for more than 30 years, right?
None of your business.
But yeah. So you've been in Passaic for a long time, so you've seen every step of Passaic, the bad times, because I've heard that now Passaic is calm, but there was a time when Passaic was not nice, right?
Passaic has gone through very challenging times, and I think we've made a lot of progress. Are we where we want to be as a city? Absolutely not. But I think we've made significant progress.
Especially with the investors that are coming into the area. I know you know more about it than I do, but there's a lot of developments going around.
Of course. So we have so much investment capital pouring into the city of Passaic. Just on the east side, actually, not too far from here, by Market Street and Passaic Ave, that intersection, if I'm not mistaken, just there's about over $300 million in just investment, real estate investment activity happening, development activity happening just in like a 6-block radius. So the amount of money that's coming in terms of development is just amazing, because people believe in Passaic. They see Passaic as it's a commuter city. B,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
For a lot of the city, it's a walking city too, right? And C, like we just have I feel like we have just amazing people with amazing.
There's so many cultures around here.
So many different cultures represented.
You got different blocks, different areas. Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. I've seen everything. I've seen Mexican food in every corner. Like, you get a lot of different vibes.
For myself, I've had sort of an inside view. I don't talk about it, I don't mention it a lot, but I've spent the last 13, 14 years now in public office here in the city of Passaic.
Oh, wow.
So it's actually pretty cool being in Passaic, being able to do a podcast unrelated, like to the, civics of the city. But, I've been part of sort of that shift and change as an insider, and and it's just I'm humbled to see how much progress has been made in
the city.
And it a lot of it, I spent 10 years on the board of education in the city of Passaic, and a lot of it is credited to the people on the ground, right? We just had amazing leadership in the school district that we were able to support and empower and really shift the culture, right? And make it about the kids. Because any city, you can't transform a city if the educational system is not sound, right? Because people don't want to be in that city. They don't want to live in that city. They don't want, they're not even going to have pride to be from this city, right? And then when you look at all of the accomplishments that we invested in program after program, and you see what these kids are accomplishing over the last few years, and it's just like, wow, they have so much pride, because now they go into other school districts when they're competing, whether in athletics or academics, right, whatever it is, and they're proud to say they're from Passaic. They wear it with pride because they know everything that's being invested into them.
And that's something that you went through, and you built that, right? And that you feel proud about that part too.
And I'll never say I built it. I'll say that it was a group, a communal effort. Yeah. And by communal effort, it was the people of Passaic that empowered us, right? It was the people that voted us in. It's the people that held us accountable as well, that do the right thing. You're saying something which is so true. And the importance of Passaic, I see, we're right after the river, right? So before the river, we're at Secaucus, East Rutherford, Nutley. There's another town that we're both missing that is right by Route 3. You don't want Clifton?
Route 3.
Clifton.
Before the river.
Lyndhurst.
Oh,
okay.
So you got all these towns that are traditional commuter towns. And then we have us, where all the Hispanics, different cultures move into. We are just 30 minutes away from the city, 20-minute drive to the Lincoln.
Opportunity.
Right?
Opportunity.
The development options that are here, especially because the houses are so old, I'm not to say anything bad, but they're not well maintained as other properties. So there is so much opportunity in Passaic, and that I know your team and everybody you work with saw that vision, and that's what makes Passaic better. I know it wasn't just you, but I want to congratulate you for thinking ahead instead of being one more of the pack and doing things that were not right.
Thank you. And we're still, there's still so much progress to be made. Like, there's been, we have an incredible mayor that's just driving the bull by the horn, that's responsive, that's reactive, that's progressive in terms of seeing the future and really wanting the best for its citizens in terms of services, but also in terms of infrastructure and what is happening as a city, not just, I spoke about the school district, but we, I feel like Passaic is on the cusp of just, we have a lot of challenges, but we're on the cusp of just doing something really incredible over the next 10 to 15 years.
We're a center town too. I wasn't thinking about that. Route 80, you're like 5 minutes away from it. 36, passes right through. You have Route 21. You got Route 3. Yeah. We have access everywhere. So it's It has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean, we're at Newark Airport in a few minutes. You know, we're at Lincoln Tunnel in a few minutes, GWB in a few minutes. So it's just, it's definitely geographically like just a wonderful place to live.
And especially more, I know that you're not Hispanic, but you like the Hispanic community. You support the Hispanic community.
Yo soy Latino.
You're a Latino? Amazing. But, the support that you're...
Should we transition this into Spanish? I can maybe maintain a conversation.
Let's see.
I'm not even going to try it. I'm not even going to try it.
It's good.
I'll throw it in a little bit here and there, just...
Because we're trying to grow. And like, I honestly didn't know any of this information coming into Passaic. I have learned it through the process of being here. But I can see Passaic in 10 years in a very different spot than what it is right now. So 10 years ago, I imagine how it was now, and then 10 years in the future, I can see it as a town that my kids, and I don't know if you have kids, but the kids that we will create in the future, they can actually build something even bigger.
And part of Passaic is just have so many wonderful people. There's like salt of the earth, but like people that have worked hard to get where they are.
Yeah.
And not only empower themselves and their families, but they give back to the community and they help. And so seeing so many people get together and, just get their boots dirty, get their hands dirty, just trying to help the community. It's a beautiful thing to see. I think we have just an amazing, amazing city. And there's so many things that people just don't know, like where people started in Passaic, right? Look at Jaime Delgado. I don't know if you know Jaime Delgado. And Jaime Delgado is of Mexican descent, and he started a landscaping company that ended up turning into Delgado Landscaping, Delgado Construction.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And now he's a developer building his own real estate developments, I believe, only in the city of Passaic. I'm not sure if he's building it elsewhere. But while he's doing all of this, he had a dream of opening up a restaurant. He opened up on the corner of Passaic, and I forget the intersection, right off 21, Al Acedero.
Right next to the cops.
Yeah, he opened up Al Acedero, and then he ran it for a few years, and then he said he had a bigger vision, bigger dream, and a restaurant shut down in Rochelle Park right across from, what's that mall? Garden State Mall. And he opened up Al Acedero across from Garden State Mall. And now you go there on a Friday, Saturday night, you can't even get a seat. There's a wait, and it's a massive restaurant. And so you see entrepreneurs like that come out of Passaic that are just doing amazing things, not only in the city but outside of the city.
That's amazing.
You have, what's his name? I'm gonna look it up real quick.
No problem. Even Dom right here, he says they could put an office for me anywhere in Jersey, in New York, but I'm not leaving Passaic. There's something about this town that gives me the energy to continue building my portfolio and helping the Spanish community, helping the people that work with us, and pushing people forward. He brought me here. I was in New York, and I came to Passaic. It's crazy.
It's just we have so many vibrant communities here, so it's just amazing to see.
Everybody's setting up themselves for success, and it's amazing that it's coming out from a town that it wasn't at its best, but it's been able to build a nice community and be able to grow throughout New Jersey. Coming back to the title, you work with New World, right?
Yes.
So why should people choose New World title? Well, besides knowing that you're a great, outstanding guy and that you love the community.
Got it. So and thank you for asking. So this is actually, New World is my third title company that I'm actually with. Oh, wow. And there's a number of reasons that I chose to land, and I think end with New World. Like I'm in a very comfortable, and most people don't have the same trajectory as myself. I worked in corporate America for about 15 some odd years, and so I have a finance background. I did FP&A. I had a team that doing financial planning and analysis, and I never enjoyed myself in corporate America. I just didn't enjoy it. And
you didn't like that 9 to 5.
It just bothered me a lot. And then
where were you working when you were in corporate America?
The last company that I worked for is a company I think mostly everyone in my generation, maybe yours, should know, Pastel.
Okay.
So I was actually at our corporate headquarters in Lyndhurst. Originally, from Wayne we moved to Lyndhurst, and I was in Lyndhurst when I kind of just walked into my CFO's office and I said I quit.
Bye.
And he's like, "Oh, what other company are you going to? I was like, I'm not doing what I'm doing anymore. I'm just giving up, corporate America. And I think it was the best decision that I've ever made for me personally and also professionally. But, obviously corporate America, you're very comfortable, right? With that 9 to 5, you're happy with that
Monday through Friday was, right?
Yeah, you're comfortable. And I didn't want to be comfortable.
So wait, you have 401k, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You will have 2 week vacation?
Yeah, 2 week paid vacation.
2 week vacation, sick days.
Yes.
And you were like, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah.
A lot of people are making those decisions, but it's for the happiness and your freedom, right?
Exactly.
To do whatever you want.
Exactly.
And you chose to work with New Title after the experience of 2 other companies.
Yes. And so you asked, like, why should consumers specifically work with New World Title? A commitment to service and the philosophy and the vision and the belief that service is important. Now, every title company will tell you, yes, we provide exceptional service, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times those are just words, right? And there's no real commitment or action or follow through to actually make service better, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, and for me, I'm on the sales side, right? And on the sales side, we have to bring in the business. So as we go out there and bring in the business, we're not selling ourselves.
We're selling the company.
We're not selling title insurance. So what we're selling is the service.
Yep.
And if I don't have confidence in the service, then I can't really go out there and confidently sell a product that I have no confidence in the service. And so I transitioned to, my second company after I initially started, just because I really wasn't that confident, I felt, in the service. And so when I transitioned to the new title company, the service was actually really good. And I was very comfortable and I was very confident in that company. But it's a long-term commitment as well.
Yeah.
And this company, while the service was great, my business and my ability to bring in business and, through God's grace and God's favor, I was able to land some really great accounts and bring in a lot of business to the point where I believe when I left, I was 40% of the total volume of the business.
We're talking about the second company.
The second company.
Okay.
And the leadership was unwilling to hire
more people to help with that volume.
Unwilling to invest in any type of marketing. Unwilling to really invest.
I was going to ask you that part about the next company because that's really important.
So really unwilling to invest in anything really to scale and grow the company, right? And it was just like, hey, you're just out here on your own. See what business you can bring in based on your charm. And I'm not that charming, as most of the listeners can tell on this podcast. So I'm limited in my growth and my ability to do what I do. And so
you felt the growth was there, but at the end of the day, if the team, meaning the whole company, everybody working together, did not figure out what's the next step, we were just going to stay behind.
And leadership was invested in being comfortable, not in really growing. There was no vision to really grow the company.
So after you left the second company and the attention to customer wasn't there, and they did not want to hire people to assist with that volume, New World offered you all that?
Yes. And so with New World, and people ask why I carry the banner so strongly for New World. And part of the reason is that everything that I've asked for, and I won't disclose everything that I asked for,
of course,
but during the conversation, the very first conversation, the founder, the owner, he called me and he said, look, I don't know you, but I've heard amazing things about you. Mm-hmm. I'd love an opportunity to fly you down to Florida and have a conversation and visit our offices. And we'll put you up for 4 days in Miami, bring your family, bring whoever you want. And he's like, spend 2 days on, interviewing with us, and then 2 days on your own, on us. And said, we just want you to be comfortable. We don't want you to rush. Take your time and just be comfortable with who we are, because we want to come in big in New Jersey.
That's an amazing philosophy to do business.
And I said, okay, well, before I even fly down, before I engage anything, this is where I'm currently at in terms of my pay structure. This is where I want to be. This is additional benefit that I want. This is a second benefit I want. This is a third benefit I want. This is a fourth benefit I want. Now, one of those benefits that I asked for was just straight BS, right?
You just were testing the water.
I was just like, all right, I'm going to throw it out there.
Testing the water.
So to his credit, his name is Rudy Hernandez. He said, okay, that's done. What else? And I said, wow. So he's serious, you know? So I said, okay, let's fly down. Yeah, that was
just to verify that you were in the right place.
So I flew down, and again, to me, I think with anything, as you progress forward in business, right, or you progress forward in life, in relationships, you know how good you have something once you've seen how bad something else is, or right, or
so you were able to catch the things that were good when you were there.
So the first company that I was with was a great company by all respects, right, but it just wasn't for me. The second company, even though it was a smaller company, I felt great. It was perfect for where I was at that particular moment, right? But it wasn't where the company structure that I needed for me to get to the next level. Mm-hmm. And they would never invest in the infrastructure that's needed to get not only myself, but everyone to a higher level, right?
Yeah, of course.
And so this one, you know, it was an amazing fit, I felt, for a number of ways. And one of their philosophies is we never stop growing. We never stop hiring, right? Now, a lot of companies can say that, but can they actually execute? And they allowed me free access to multiple offices when I went down there into the Miami market. Like I said, they have 22 offices. Oh, wow. I was able to visit multiple offices, and I had unadulterated access to the employees and leadership to ask as many questions as I want.
Wow.
Without any prep work, right? So they're, you know, allowed to speak to me freely, so I can feel the culture and I can understand the career progression. And every single, like, for example, every single branch manager I spoke to, every single processor I spoke to, all said the same thing. Oh, I started as a receptionist. Oh, I started as a pre-processor. I started with no... And now all of a sudden, someone that started as a pre-processor or whatever receptionist is now second in command in the company, right? So like everyone had a career progression in the company because they continued to grow, continued to scale, and they didn't stop hiring. They weren't afraid to start hiring. And so when I saw that culture, and coming from a company where the owner is unwilling to hire additional staff because they don't want to take extra payroll, but services is suffering, to me, that was a huge win. I was just like, oh, wait, this is the culture that I'd like to be a part of and be part of the culture to grow that in New Jersey. And so
that's what I was going to ask you, because you were basically going to head the branch here in New Jersey for them.
So we had a branch manager but obviously myself and the team that was now put together collectively, we were going to be responsible for growing that branch. And so part of it is just, you know, having the ability to make those types of decisions, right? Like I remember walking into the Rutherford office, and we needed an office at that point, and I was with the broker, and within 10 minutes we were able to make a decision, you know,
without having to call 20 people to make one decision.
Exactly. Like, you know, it was like, hey, Rudy, I think this space works. Hey, let's go have them send over the paperwork. And literally within 24 hours, I think we had an executed lease, right, for our NJ headquarters in Rutherford, New Jersey. And
that's amazing, because, you know, that usually in any company takes a couple of days.
Yeah. And, you know, last week we had our, I guess, New Year sort of gathering to thank all of the staff and support team, and including sales. And I believe there were 28 people on that list being part of the New World New Jersey family.
Oh, wow. So you guys grew a lot.
Sorry, 25, 3 were from Florida. So let's say 25.
So that means that you grew in 1 year. How long is it?
25 employees.
25 employees. That's amazing. That's a lot.
25.
That's a lot of growth.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they are really betting in New Jersey. They really want to continue growing here.
No, absolutely. I mean, we are committed to growing New World into the largest title company in New Jersey.
That's what I was going to say. You guys are crazy with the marketing. So you guys are good because this is the Marketing of Today podcast, but we have to also educate people. You guys run a lot of billboards because I've seen you, and I like it because it's just New World title. I'm one of those weird marketers. I like everything minimalist.
Yeah, let
Not
people
too
ask
busy.
the questions.
People search. I search. What the hell is New World title? Because I was like, one day I was like, I remember, and then one day when I opened the website and I saw it, I was like, oh right, Salim works there because I remember. But like, you guys have billboards all over North Jersey, and I bet South too. Because we're not talking about Central.
So, and that's the other thing is that the philosophy, the company's commitment to marketing and branding, which in effect helps anyone doing sales, right? So the other part of New World are like leadership's sort of commitment, and is the fact that they're not shy to spend money
on the advertising,
on marketing, on branding.
You guys only use billboards, or you guys?
No. So there's a lot of dollars spent, meaning that coming from companies that don't want to spend money, right, or spend sparingly, it was refreshing to see a company willing to open up their pocketbooks, limit profit, but rather look at long-term growth, right? Saying, how do we establish presence? How do we establish market penetration, especially in the initial stages, which helped on a number of levels, right? And, or rather dimensions, just because does it help sales? Of course.
Yeah.
But
it's a known brand.
Yeah. But now think about it in our initial stages. We're a brand new title company. Do you know how many title company owners came to me while I was kind of,
starting?
It's not starting, when I was looking to shift, right? Where they said, why would you go to a company that
nobody knows, basically?
Yeah.
In the state of New Jersey.
So many new title companies open up and shut down. Why would you take a chance? Why don't you go to an established brand?
Yeah.
Right? And so there was a lot of that. And so even hiring, so many people that were interviewed, that were given offers, decided not to come to New World because they were like, we don't know if the brand will survive, right? We don't know who this new company is. Oh, we heard this about the company. We heard that about the company. Instead of just picking up the phone or actually,
and trying to live for themselves.
Yeah. And so part of the branding was also allowing us now to hire and recruit better talent, because once we establish market presence, now instead of us chasing talent on the service side, on the operation side,
they come.
The talent is coming, and now
they see the growth,
of course. And we have so many title companies that now, obviously, it's a business, and they have hired and trained employees that are great at what they do, and we are getting phone calls from a lot of this top talent. And
we're asking questions.
We're not chasing now. We're at a point where, in the beginning, we definitely were looking for talent, but now we are at a point where we have a deluge. We have so many people coming to.
And the reason for that is because you guys aren't afraid of spending in the marketing and aren't afraid of showing that you guys are you're committed to New Jersey, because that's another thing, right? And bringing it to my side in this case is like, as a marketing company, my job is to show that you're legit in what you do, and that you're willing to grow and you're willing to help the community, and your job is to be serious about what you do on a daily basis. And then you use the social media platforms, the billboards, the newspapers, all the platforms that are available to show people, hey, we're a serious brand company that you can come work for us. And if you're confirming after a year and you're still here and you're still hitting it hard and your marketing budget is really big, then people are like, they have no doubts.
So you alluded to the billboards, and this was Rudy Hernandez, the owner of the company down in Florida. For some reason, I don't know how he got this into his head. He's like, let's do billboards. And all of us looked at him like he was crazy. We're like, we're a title company. We're B2B. Why would we spend money? But the billboards went up, and we got phone calls that from our, and this is in the initial stages. So we got phone calls from a lot of our initial supporters saying, hey, that's great. That's great. But then we got a lot of phone calls from like haters or like people like they're hating like like they're doing billboards like for a title company, like why would you do that, right? And
brand awareness,
brand awareness, but it was also disrupting the status quo. That's what
true.
we did. We disrupted the
in
real
many
estate
ways
industry because now we did that. And I got to say, even though we did that, that was a masterful play. And I'm thankful for our leadership, for having that vision to do it. But what we did as a sales force is we hit the ground. We went to the offices.
So you were basically on here, but you were also here.
We hit the offices where the billboards were, the real estate offices, the lenders, the attorneys. And we walked in. Hey, we're New World Title. Hey, wait, I just saw your billboard coming down the hall. Oh, isn't that? Oh, that's you guys. Oh, that's who you. And then they started making the connections. Now, did we land the client all the time? No, absolutely not.
Nope.
But it made that introduction a lot warmer than it could have been if we just did a cold walk-in, where now all of a sudden, now wait a minute, you guys are doing billboards? Who are you? Tell me about yourself. They're intrigued. Yeah. And that intrigue let us have a lot of conversations and introduce New World to who they are, right? And just because a title company never did it, right? It was something completely not done before.
Because, you guys always focus on the real estate agents, which are the ones that bring the business because they need to, and the mortgage company, sorry. They are the ones that bring the business to essentially to you guys. Yeah. So you didn't need to be out there. But with this approach of being out there, you actually made a bigger impact than if you would have gone straight to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so and I would say the proof is in the pudding, and I'm thankful. I'm really thankful because as someone in sales, going to a real estate office and say, I'm with this title company, and they'll be like, who? What?
Yeah. They didn't know.
What title company? Where? Who?
When they started?
But now I walk into a title company, I walk into a real estate office. Yeah. I'm not walking into title companies. Anyway, but now that I walk into a real estate office, from a sales approach, and so anyone that's doing marketing and sales, like if you have that brand that's built up, all of a sudden, oh wait, New World? Oh wait, you represent New World? Okay, hey, I heard a lot of things about you, and I gotta say, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Yeah,
but that's where our job comes in to be able to communicate effectively, saying, hey, this is who we are, this is what we represent. And I gotta say, the one thing on a branding side of things, and who said it? One of my friends said it. What's his name? His Instagram is Return on Investment. You know who that? Oh, Johnny Marine.
There you go. Oh, I heard of him. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so branding is important in all aspects, and one of the things I think one of the things that I really love, and I think our clients love, is we do something very unique. We do a custom cake, and that custom cake has a printed a picture.
I seen those.
An actual picture of the house that the client is purchasing at the closing table. So we finish the closing, and all of a sudden we open up the box, and there's a cake with a picture of the house that these clients just bought on it. And we've gotten so many great reactions where they're saying,
amazing experience.
Yeah, they're like, some of them cry, some of them are happy. Oh, I can't wait till I bring this to my kids. But creating that personal touch and approach, because the clients love it. And then if the clients love it, that means the realtors are happy, right? And if the realtors are happy, that means they're happy with the title company. And so, part of branding also is at the closing table, where you're giving them an exceptional and memorable closing experience. Yeah. And it's funny because one of my good friends, Johnny Marine, from I think his IG is Return on Investment, in one of his Instagram stories or posts, he said, did you really close if you didn't have a cake? Right? And he's not even, he's not a realtor, or he's obviously an investor, but for him to see that, like, hey, closings
if you don't have
happening.
The cake, then you're not.
Yeah, like meaning we've branded that cake closing so much that everyone else's closing isn't memorable, right? Yeah. And to have that effect on the industry in such a short amount of time, I think it's a beautiful thing to see.
I know, because again, it's a year, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit more than a year, yeah.
But that's crazy. You guys been able to grow and being able to help so many people as well. So I got two things to ask you right before we close. One is the Tom Ferry Event, which are I wasn't able to make it. I was booked that day, but you guys were. I heard that was amazing, and you guys killed it. How was that, man?
No, it was absolutely phenomenal. It was just a phenomenal experience. And part of it is, how do we add value to the real estate community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Title companies take, but we should give back. We should give back to the industry. And so part of it is like, how do we provide value? And so we reached out to Tom Ferry, who's the #1 real estate coach in the industry, the most well-known, the most well-recognized and well-respected. We reached out to him and said, hey, we'd like you to headline a conference. And we called it the New You Conference. And we brought Tom Ferry, and we actually did panels with other top producers, top brokers, top team leaders in the real estate industry. And we put this conference together.
In Passaic.
Yes. And I was one of the lead organizers. And I said, I only have one stipulation. If I'm helping with this conference, right?
It has to be in Passaic.
It has to be in Passaic. And so the fact that we brought it into Passaic, we did it at Factory 220. Mm-hmm. We were sold out the day before. Like, I think we sold out. We had over 650 attendees. And we actually didn't try to make money on the conference. We didn't allow any sponsors that were lenders. We didn't allow any sponsors that were real estate brokerages, because we didn't want any conflicts or any of our clients saying, why did we favor one over the other?
Yep.
And so we absorbed most of the costs, and we also wanted to make it affordable because we wanted realtors to come.
It was.
So the tickets were $25
I know.
each. $25.
When I saw that,
that included food.
I saw that, I honestly, being in the marketing, I know how everybody, when they do events, they want to make a buck, right? Yes. When I saw the price of the event, I applaud you guys, because you made it a priority of helping people, helping the real estate agents and everybody that was there, versus making a couple bucks. And also, it's for the long run. It's not for the short run.
And from a marketing perspective, just to let you know, like, we had over 300 people on the last day try to get tickets.
Yep.
And we couldn't accommodate them because we were providing food, and we obviously had seats and materials that we had to give them. So we said we had to turn away 300 people. And so the part of it was now educating our consumer that wants to consume our products, our events, that, don't wait till the last minute, because we will sell out, right? We push our events hard. We actually did an extra 50 billboards for the Tom Ferry conference to push it out across the state.
I think I have a video of one of your billboards, because I took it for... Yes. You know who I took it with? Lifestyle, Chris.
Okay.
Delgado. We were recording. I think he sent it to you.
Okay.
We were recording something for him. He's like, do me a favor. Take that shot of that billboard. I'll send it to them, because I'm going to go to that event. I remember that I was with him the day before the event. Just to close and, to complete the podcast, what is title and what is title insurance?
So, title, I'll go into specifically title insurance. So title insurance is basically an insurance policy that a homeowner is getting to make sure their property is free and clear of any liens, encumbrances, or judgments. Right? Now, what that means is we cleared title of any liens, judgments, or encumbrances, right? That means we can now insure the title of the property, right? And what that means is, now, let's say the title company made a mistake and missed something, right? There was a judgment that for some reason they didn't find, or a second mortgage that was undiscovered for some reason. And at that point, now there's a claim that you can make as a homeowner, right, on title, on your, because you purchased the title insurance.
And you were informed that the house was clear. So
exactly.
That's what's protecting.
So because you were informed and you closed that everything was free and clear and something showed up, now the title company is liable to pay off that second mortgage or whatever
comes up.
And so, that's exactly what you're getting with the title policy.
You're basically protecting your investment in whatever property you bought based on any situation that might arise in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Salim, thank you so much for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
We educated some people in Passaic. We educated them in title insurance. We gave them, information of how you guys run your marketing, which is... even for me as a marketing company, I applaud you guys every time I see your moves and every time I see the ads and everything that's going on. So congratulations, and I hope that everything keeps going well, man.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. And to me, honestly, I'm humbled and I'm honored to actually be on your show. I would do anything for anyone in Passaic because it's got a special place in my heart. So the minute you call and be like, yo, I want to do it, I was like, yo, I'm there. Like,
no, remember we were texting super late at night. I was like, I want Salim in my podcast. And you were like, done. You were just like, done. No questions asked. And I'm so happy that you're in the show. And, I hope that everybody that you're sending this to enjoys it as well.
Absolutely. And look, I hope people benefit from this. And look, and again, if anyone has any questions, just questions, real estate industry related, yep. I'm an open book. Have anyone reach out.
He's available 24/7, right?
Yes, sir.
Anytime, trust me. I have texted him in weird times, and he's always there. Thank you so much, man, for being here. Appreciate you.